and welcome to Sport Tonight. I'm Cecilia Mogbe, right here in Lagos Studios. Austin will join me briefly, or rather later, from London. All right, this is what the show looks like tonight. We'll be talking about Nigerian Women's Football League Premiership before the season even starts. The season is starting tomorrow. Casmok ladies already relegated. How did this happen? Simply because they failed to meet the requirements in terms of club licensing and, of course, early registration. So right now we have 19 teams that will contest the title for the NWFL Premiership this season. Okay, that is that. We'll also be talking about, yes, all the games that we go down across Nigeria on Wednesday. Edo Queens, former champions, and the holders, Bayelsa Queens, will be the teams that will open the season. And Edo Queens going into the season with 11 new players. Some left, but 11 new players are coming in. Remo Stars also went to the markets doing a lot of business with 8 new players joining that squad. So these are teams that are ready to kick the season up. So NWFL will get our attention tonight on the show. Yes, MPFL match day 14. We'll also be taking a look at those games that went down. Canopy, of course, their poor run of 8 games, it's finally over. And the Ikorodu smart run, they've had the longest run this season. Well, it's also over. So you have 2 teams, one ending a losing run, and the other actually, well, their winning streak snapped by Kano Pillars. So we'll talk about that on the show tonight. And of course, the countdown to the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations taking place in Morocco. We'll be taking a look at another group tonight on the show. So the countdown is here with us on Sports Tonight. We'll talk about that. And, of course, the Champions League is currently going on. My producer, Irene Awoma, wants Chelsea to beat Barcelona as much as 5-0. We're 2 hours, or rather 1 hour, 30 minutes, we will know the final result if that will happen. So Chelsea are in action tonight against Barcelona. And, of course, so many games going on. We'll be giving you all the live updates on the show tonight on the UEFA Champions League. And, of course, the big one for tomorrow, Bayern Munich and Arsenal. These 2 teams unbeaten so far since the Champions League started at the group stage this season. So these 2 teams, 100% record, will be locking horns. The holders, or rather the leaders of Bundesliga and the leaders of the English Premier League. And Bayern, when you look at that table, they have been, after how many games, they've scored 33 goals this season and 31 points. Now, that is actually scary. In 18 games they played so far, they've only failed to win 1. So it's like 17 out of 18. Arsenal in 18 also this season so far, they've only failed to win just 3. So these 2 teams are ready and evenly poised for the season. And of course, finally on the show, yes, the final 8 of Nigeria Basketball League. Who could have thought the Rivers Hoopers right there on their home court? Sometimes when you get to their home, they said, "This is my house. You can't beat me in my house." But Legends did it twice this season. First at the final 8, and of course the final of the final 4. So you have the new champions, Nigeria Premier Basketball League, and of course you're going to be having a new team representing Nigeria at the Basketball Africa League for next season. Yes, Lagos Legends. Remember that name. They will be the one to represent Nigeria in Basketball Africa League. So these are many more on the show tonight. Austin, ready to join us?
Sporty greetings to you, and of course our viewers joining us from all parts of the world, because it's an action-packed world of sports. You talked about the UEFA Champions League, and I tell you this, Cecilia, Chelsea fans right here in England, they are so pumped up for that one. The last time Barcelona and Chelsea played in the UEFA Champions League was in 2018. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
February 2018, Chelsea won, Barcelona won. March 2018, Barcelona 3, Chelsea 0. The fans, yes, said they want Chelsea to avenge that loss, you know. So we will monitor everything going down tonight in the UEFA Champions League. Back home in Nigeria, Cecilia, you know what? The women, they are telling us that, look, leave this football management thing to us. You talked about a team that is already relegated. It's simple. You don't look like you're ready to play in the league, so step aside. Isn't that what we've been saying?
Yeah.
That the NPFL should do? That no matter who's us is God, you just need to put your foot down and take the right decisions. I love it so much. We'll talk about it. I love the women's game. You know it, Cecilia. So I cannot wait for the NWFL to get us talking. The countdown to the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. We're beginning to hear talks coming out of the camp of the Super Eagles. We don't know how true it is, but we'll wait for confirmation. What's going on with Benjamin Fredericks? we will continue to monitor that story also. And the MPFL, Cecilia, it's just March 14 and it's looking like it's already March the 30th. Same with the English Premier League. Just week 12, and we've seen drama. Manchester City couldn't beat Newcastle. Liverpool couldn't beat Nottingham Forest. Precious goodness, 10 men. Everton stunned Manchester United. Football. When you think you know it, Cecilia, it stuns you, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what it does, because it tells you that, look, you know nothing, and football is always the game. But right here in the studio, it's a Tuesday, and of course, you know he's right here. Kende Idris is here. Kende, how you doing?
Good to be here. Very well. I'm doing very well, and the energy is very packed. Yourself and you know, Austin, and the lineup is so rich. One topic having about 30, 40 angles to touch in, and really looking forward to, you know, getting, you know, deeply into matters on the show today. Obviously,
yes, let's start off with what happened at the weekend in Port Harcourt. Who could have thought that Rivers Hoopers would not be retaining the title? Remember we talked about they were on a very good run from 2022. No team had been able to beat them. But Lagos Legends, a new team in Nigeria Basketball League, they did that in the final 8. And we thought, okay, that was just a fluke. Let's get to the final 4 where the champions will emerge. You know, when you are in your home and you say, this is my house, or rather, not in my house. But Lagos Legends said, okay, you know, this is your house, but we're going to take this trophy away from Port Harcourt here to Lagos. And that's what happened at the weekend. So we'll just give you a result of the final 4 games played in Port Harcourt. Now, Rivers Hoopers, it was just by 2 points that they lost, 72-74. Now, Lagos Legends right now are the champions of the Nigerian Basketball League. And Nigeria Customs and Boko City Chiefs, that game ended 87-7. So both results were very close. Close call it was. But basketball, 1 second, you break. I mean, how do you go to, you snooze. You lose, right?
Yeah.
Before you take a breather, and it's all gone. Were you surprised by the outcome of the NBBL Final Four?
Super surprised.
Yeah.
If you've been following basketball, as much as we've got some great teams, that's why it pains us to have a lot of teams not being able to express what they can do, because there are teams scattered all over, especially in the north. I think those guys do a great job. Then you have the you know, south and you know, teams. But in recent time, River Supers has been that team, and there is something they've done. They are never resting on their horse. They get to clinch the title this year. You see them beef up the team. You see them put in more to do better next year. And that's what they've done year in, year out. And that's why they've been our representatives on the continent, you know, at the Basketball African League. But, like they always say, if you have to be the best, you just must find a way to beat the best. And it reminds me of Eyimba in 2004 when they went to the stadium of Al Ahly. Very, very hostile place to go. And then you have to go there, get results, and get the trophy. And Eyimba did that. And the respect for Eyimba and Nigerian football rose to the skies in those periods because they feel you didn't do it in your home, you did it right there in Egypt. And that's what Lagos Legends are just done. And trust me, with this result, news has flown all the way to the entire continent. Every basketball team who will be at the ball are already talking about Lagos Legends, because they have been preparing for Rivers Hoopers because of what they've done in recent time, you know, over 3 years now. Now Rivers Hoopers won't be the team who, or what is that team that had to go to Port Harcourt, they had to go to the home of Rivers Hoopers to take them out, and did it even twice. And yes, that team must be the team that we should be working out for. And if Lagos Legends, after this, do a little beefing up of the team, because in the words of Espirito Santo, you cannot sign mediocres now. You're going to the big boys league. Now you're going to the Basketball African League. You need to understand there are some players who won't cut it. No disrespect to the players who are there right now. But you just need players who can match strength for strength, skill for skill, tactics for tactics at the African level, because this is not your home where you play some few games and you're champion. So congratulations to Lagos Legends, but also huge respect to River Supers. I think they've raised the bar, and teams who have to do it must do it in the very hard way. And when you do it the hard way, then you're a class team.
You're a class team, really. I think with where they are, they can actually beat any team in Africa. Okay, I'm talking too much right now. But also, we're going to get reactions first before you react to this, because Lagos Legends, what are they made of? Because Rivers Hoopers, They had a narrow 3-point lead at the end of third quarter. I thought they were going to maintain that, but it didn't happen. Let's listen to the coach of Lagos Legends, of course, the winning coach, and also the captain of Rivers Hoopers. Where did this go wrong for them?
I kept on telling you guys from the beginning that I have a crop of fighters. I can't go into specifics right now, but if I tell you, you understand why I am saying this. Because they came out with everything that we have experienced and everything that we've struggled with. They came out today again to fight. And you can see that they fought till the end and gave us the victory. I can just give it to God. All praise to God, man, for bringing me this far. It's only Him. We are not restricted to Nigeria. You understand? The personality is there. Wherever we go, I'm going to carry it. And trust me, you will see the same fight again with this same group of boys.
My expectation was very high. I expect a lot, not only from my team. And I also promised our fans that we're going to give them this trophy as a gift. But it happens to be this way. There's nothing we can do about it. We just have to thank God. Okay, the next season, we just need to go back to our drawing board and get the job done. At least we have been there 3 times. So we need to go back. We are champions. Yes, like you said, you win some, you lose some. That's how champions are. You don't win all the time. So we need to go back. We need to put ourselves back on the map that we are champions. So we need to go back to the drawing board and prepare for next season.
Yeah. Back on the map, right? They need to do that because Lagos Legends were trailing by 2 points, 28 seconds to the end of the game. And when they went into the third quarter, they were trailing by 3 points. And what did they, in the final quarter, what did they do? They outscored Rivers Hoopers 25-22. Austin, I mean, that's remarkable. That's how you know a team that is made of champion stuff.
Absolutely, Cecilia. You listen to Coach Michael. He said it clearly. He said, look, we are fighters. And when I saw them in that final quarter, they played beautiful defense. And in basketball, if you want to win, your defense must be top-notch. And you must find a way to turn it into proper offensive play, you know. So shout out to Lagos Legends. I hear they will change the name just before the bow. And I like that they've got some private ownership going on because we've been seeing Rivers Hoopers has to do with the Rivers State government. So let's see how serious they will get now. You have won the league in Nigeria, you're going to the Basketball Africa League, and you were asking, can they beat teams in Africa? We'll soon find out. But what's the only way we'll find out? The sort of preparation that they give it now, you know, because we can tell that the players are pumped up. I know one of the owners are connected right there in the United States of America. So we might get to see some, you know, new players added to the team and give it some bites, go give Nigeria a good representation. But let me land the way I always land, just to let the NBBF know that I'm not tired. We love these sort of stories. We love it all come to talk about basketball, the players, the action, the defense, the offensive play, everything that has to do with on-the-court basketball. But it has to also be beautiful off the court. Administration must be top-notch for our basketball to shine, because the next phase now is the BAL. If they go to the BAL and they don't do well, Kehinde Idris, the analyst, Cecilia and Austin, the pundits, our analysis will be the same. Oh, what sort of, how many basketball did they play?
They play.
So we got to change it. We have to change it so that we will start saying those things that we know can actually take our basketball from one level to another, Cecilia. I know Kehinde just wants to jump on it, but let's quickly listen to the board member of the Nigeria Basketball Federation, Abba Kaka. That's why I had to call them out. He had something to say after that final.
BBF is pushing all along for the past 4 years. The president is pushing, but you see, these facilities cost a lot of dollars. It's not small money, and the National Sports Commission budget is very, very tight. So we are trying to see how we can get individual donors from different clubs, you know, that have shown interest to come forward and, this game is a business. You understand? So the economy of the game is what we're looking at. Once we get all this information out, then we have sponsors coming. From sponsors, we can get facilities like this. Me personally speaking, I wish that it's going to be more than one team. But then, right now in BAL, only one team goes. So hopefully we need to expand so that Hoopers can also go. They play very good basketball, and the other, Customs played a very good basketball. Chiefs played a very good basketball. So how I wish 3 or 4 teams can go. But, in football, there was a big expansion. So we are also looking forward to FIBA to do the same expansions as you saw what they played. If they can beat Hoopers at home, I know they can beat any African team. So we are hoping and hopeful that they'll bring the cup to Nigeria.
You see what I'm talking about? Look at the way he landed. That's the problem, KD Idris. Yes. You are hopeful that they should bring the cup to Nigeria. How are they going to do it? When you put your team side by side with what Tunisia is doing with their league basketball, Angola, what they're even Cape Verde, Kayani said it, that this is huge business. They know these things. Execution matters, KD Idris.
Execution matters every day, and I was having a great laugh while listening. No disrespect to anybody, but it's even tearing down. It's unbelievable. Kaka is supposed to be one of those who should move our basketball from this point to the other point, a better point.
The president wasn't there at the final, for he represented him.
But I couldn't. If you go by what he has said, all we are waiting for is manna from heaven. Something magical should just happen. People walk. I can remember, when Hakimi was giving the African Footballer of the Year, he said, "Thank you to the king for giving us enough facilities to help our football, and that's why today we are where we are." It's as simple as that. It is intentional. It is conscious. It doesn't fall on your ties. You don't fall on it. You have to work towards it. And hopefully, these clubs, these academies, these individuals, you just said, Lagos Legend, one of their backup is right there in the US. They continue to put in a whole lot. But there is hardly what you can do if the government in place does not, give those adequate atmosphere or, enabling environment for the sports to grow. And basketball is suffering, arguably the second sport in the country, and we are still talking about, league that runs for about a month or 2. I think it's shame, and hopefully, some people will feel. They don't feel.
No,
hopefully, they don't feel.
They don't feel.
Let me not say some people will feel. Hopefully, someday, somehow, Cecilia, Austin, and the likes of Kehinde Idris, their talks would amount to something.
Just maybe we're hoping and praying, because you want sponsors. How do you sponsor what you don't see? How many people want to put in money in a league that you watch for, like, okay,
here we go,
for 2 months? Nobody's going to do that. So MBBF needs to wake up. Yes, MBBF needs to wake up and understand that if you have a full-fledged league. I remember when basketball was on cable network, was on DSTV, was Kwese came, and there was so much money into it. When that money came, and that's where the court cases started. So we'll leave it there, and hopefully something good will come out of this final. For hope Lagos Legends can invest so much, play pickup games, and then be ready for BAL for next season.
Lagos,
yes. To Lagos,
yes, Lagos.
It's pretty right now. The trophy is right here in Lagos.
Yes,
we're going to leave that, and quickly, I think we need to go, before we go on the break, I'll just tease what to expect next. We'll be talking about Group E of the Africa Cup of Nations. That's going to be our focus today as we count down to the Africa Cup of Nations. Yes, Nigeria is playing, and of course, we're trying to do Let's Do It Again. We know we are not going to the World Cup, but we are playing AFCON, and so the support needs to come right now, not later, not after they won. We were just praying that they win anyway. Inside the Niger Delta, we'll go on now on our DSTV platform at 9:20, and then when we come back on other platforms, Sports Tonight will continue. Stay with us.